Hey everyone, in this video, we will be solving 3 OSCP-similar HacktheBox machines in less than 30 minutes. I like these kind of challenges. They're easy to medium boxes, so it won't be a problem for us. And we will be mostly focusing on SQL injection. I think 2 of the boxes are SQL injection focused. So let's jump into the boxes.
Welcome to OffSec certification. Penetration. Test. Better than the rest.
All right, the first box is help from HacktheBox. It's an easy box, Linux box. We are starting with mmap with the same options minus S. We are seeing that there's an HTTP page. We're going there. We're seeing that there's an Apache Ubuntu default page. We are starting immediately at Dirbuster to make sure that we can do directory brute forcing. As you can see, I am checking the list from user share, word list, Dirbuster, and the medium list. As you can see here, I'm starting the directory brute forcing here. I'm always checking the tree view. And when I see enough, I'm seeing that there's a support endpoint. When I go there, there's help desk application running there. And I'm checking the GitHub page because they have a public GitHub page, and I'm seeing that there's an upgrading.txt file, which is revealing the version information. When we go there, we're seeing that it's 1.102 version. When I check for it, there are multiple vulnerabilities such as arbitrary file upload and SQL injection, but they're authenticated. So I'm thinking that I have to get some credentials somehow. And I'm seeing that there's another HTTP port on 3000. It's Node.js Express framework. I'm checking online if there are any known vulnerabilities. And not the vulnerability part, but I'm seeing that there is GraphQL running. So I'm thinking that maybe I should just check for the endpoint GraphQL. And as you can see, I am just checking for the GraphQL endpoint and says get query missing. It's a GET request and probably asking for query parameter. I'm writing query. It's showing me the previous version, whatever. As you can see, whatever input I'm writing, it's embedded an output like that. So I'm thinking that maybe I can include this curly braces. It says expected name, and I'm thinking that this should be something known. What can I try? I'm thinking maybe user. And when I say user, I started with the capital letter. It's giving me the same error. So I'm thinking that's not a valid name. So when I change it to the user with the lower case, as you can see, it gives a different error message. And it says you need a subfield. And it gives us the format, the syntax. So I'm thinking that I should probably write like username, and it gives me enough help at something perfect. And I'm also curious about the password, so I will just check for the same way from the GraphQL. All right, for username, I am also writing password to check the password information, which is in here. I'm thinking that this is probably hash. I don't think that this is the password, and I cracked it with the crack station. I'm just writing it here. Yeah, it just gives us a CSRF there. Apparently there's a CSRF protection. Let's write it down again. Oh yeah, I just closed the screen. Oh yeah, we got it back here with username, searching the GraphQL. I'm also turning and intercepting with the burp and sending the request so that we can check later if something goes wrong with burp. And we will be using burp for SQL injection attempts with SQL map. All right, cleaning the screens a bit. I'm interested in this authenticated SQL injection. I'm checking Exploit for what kind of exploit I need to use there. And it will show us the endpoint and the request that you need to send in order to exploit it as SQL injection. It's unauthorized file download, and it happens after you submit a ticket and when you're trying to see the attachment. Cool, I'm intercepting with burp again so that I can see if I can exploit this and what kind of requests that I have. So first I'm submitting a ticket. So it's a random one, it doesn't matter because the exploitation will be with the attachment view request. So I'm just adding an attachment, doesn't matter. I will just add something from my temp directory that I use in my bug bounty or pen tests or HacktheBox machines that I solved before. So I'm going there and just adding something hash.txt, writing the captcha verification code and submitting it. These are all being sent to burp. My tickets, I'm seeing the attachment here. I will go there and view the attachments and will send the request to burp automatically. As you can see, it mentions when you download the attachment. I didn't see this endpoint, this request yet. I am gonna see the attachment now. All right, doesn't matter, you don't need to open it, but it's already sent to burp at the end, as you can see here. Perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this request and we're going to send this to SQL map. I'm generally going to the temp directory because, you know, when you reset the computer, reset the virtual machine, it's just been deleted. So these kind of CTF stuff are not supposed to be stored. So I'm starting an SQL map. Save the file as help.rec, and I'm including batch option so that it wouldn't ask me any question. It would just get the default answer for every single question that SQL map can ask. As you can see, SQL map already found the vulnerability. What I'm going to do is I will try to dump the data, but I don't want to be interested in every single data. So first I'm asking for DBS. I'm checking for database names. As you can see, it's given us all the database names one by one, beautifully. So there are many databases, as you can see here, and I'm interested in support. I'm using -d support with 1 dash. I wrote 2 dashes. Yeah, okay, it happens. -d. You also need to kill the batch. It sometimes kills the results. So you're adding minus tables, so that you can see the tables of the support database. As you can see here, and I'm going to be interested in staff one, and I'm writing -t staff and we'll say dump so that it can give me all the information that they have in this table for every single column, and it will dump the information. And the cool thing is that when you ask for dump and if it finds any hashes, SQL map is really smart to ask you if you want the hashes to be cracked with the word list that you were going to specify. It automatically asks if you're going to if you want it to be cracked with rockq.txt, but you can also specify another word list there. Okay, it starts cracking the password, which will give us the result, which gave it in here. It's welcome1 with capital W in the beginning, and we will be using this to get a shell on the server. We are first trying the username support, trying the password that we got, and it doesn't work. So I'm thinking it needs to be another username. What did I use before to log into this support application? And I realized that help should work. And we know the password of help, and here we go. I'm asking for uname -a for the kernel version, and I'm checking online. And as you can see, there's a local privilege escalation script. It's a very easy one. I'm going to get the script from there. It's a C code, and I'm lucky enough to compile it in the victim machine because they have GCC installed. So I'm moving this file as help.c and we'll fire Python simple HTTP server on port 8008. And I will be going to the temp directory so that I can write the file. I'm getting the file with wget. I need to write my own IP address, which is 10.10.14.10. I will be writing it with HTTP 10.10.14.10. Port 8008 as I'm specifying in the simple HTTP server, and I'm writing the file name as help.c to get it from my current working directory, and I'm using GCC as out file as help. I'm changing mode so that I can make it executable. When I run the file, it's giving me root. Very beautiful. When I ask for who am I, I'm root. Perfect. Woohoo. Next machine is Jarvis. It's a Linux machine. It's a medium box. It's really cool. Let's start with an mmap scan. As you can see, we are seeing some services already. Port 22 and 80 is open. There's a web service running there, which is exciting. Let's see. All right, there is a SSH and a HTTP port. It's again vulnerable to SQL injection. We will realize and exploit that manually. So first, when I see this parameter, I'm writing single quote. It disappears the image. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, maybe this is vulnerable to SQL injection, and I'm writing a comment And as you can see, it disappears the error that we were getting. So I try to decide how many columns are there. Then I'm writing order by 4, then increasing 5, 6, until I get an error. When I get an error, I will go back to the previous number, which will give us a column number. I tried 7, no error. When I try 8, I'm getting an error. The image disappears. That means the column number is 7. Perfect. Now I will be using union select method to make sure that I will use 7 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as you can see, we're getting some of the outputs, 5, 2, 3, 4. So that means in these areas, in these fields, we can write an SQL comment to get the output. When I say database, it's giving me the database name as hotel. When I ask for user, it's giving me the username as dbadmin. Super cool. Now I will be extracting some data, such as etc passvd file. I'm getting it, upload file. When I do that, I'm getting the etc passvd file as output. Then I will try to get a command execution there, code execution, sorry. I'm including a code here, PHP code, and I'm saving it in an out file called kalisa.php. Then I will be calling this file to make sure that I can use the exact parameter to execute comment, yeah, as you can see here. Then I want to get a reverse shell. I'm going to Pentest Monkey's very cool cheat sheet that everybody uses. I'm using this netgit comment. I will be starting listening on port 1, 2, 3, 4, the default part, and I'm writing the following comment here by changing my IP address 10.14.10, I suppose, and I need to URL encode this to get a reverse shell. Let's URL encode this. Yes, when we do that, we got a shell as data. Not very exciting, but first things first. We're getting a bash shell first with Python-C, import pty spawn bin bash. That doesn't make any sense when I speak like this, but I think you understand me, guys, hopefully. Okay, then I'm checking for sudo -l if there are any files that I can run with sudo comment. As we can see, there is one comment code file here, simpler.py. I tried to run the file. It's ask for password. I'm checking for the file. I'm looking for the content of it. I'm trying to understand how to run the file. As you can see, there is an exec ping function. I'm reviewing the code to make sure that I can understand. It's asked for enter an IP, and it will give us the comment after already including the ping comment. So when I write my comment like this, who am I? Ping is not working, but it gives us the answer as pepper. Cool. That means, yeah, after writing the code a couple of multiple times wrong, first, I am writing the following script to a shell, bash script. I'm making it executable, shell.sh, and running this file to make sure that I can get a reverse shell, hopefully as pepper. So I am writing the user should be pepper, the user that we are impersonating, and I'm running the following script that I just wrote. But I forgot that I needed to listen on the port. I always do that. Was 4444. I'm doing the exact same thing again. Yeah, sometimes I'm so excited and I'm doing things like not completed. Happens. Really sad. Yeah, running the same script again, shell.sh, and we get a shell as pepper. How cool is this? Nice. Now we need to escalate our privileges to root. It's never enough for us. So I'm checking for SUID files, GUID files, if there are anything that I can use. And as you can see, I'm seeing systemctl. I know that I can write a code as the following, as a service, so that I can escalate my privileges to root. That's another technique. We probably never discussed this in the previous videos. I will include this code, hopefully, if I don't forget, at the end of the YouTube video, but you can also copy and paste it from the video. It's very easy to understand. You don't need to memorize it. You can just know about the format by checking online. we are basically starting the service and waiting for the reverse shell as root. Okay, I'm just repeating my comments again. I'm enabling the service that I just wrote because systemcl was running as root, as we saw in the SUID output, and I'm just starting the service that I named. And when I start listening on the port that I defined, it gives me the root as shell as root. Woohoo! You can just read the root.txt file in this way. Super cool. Next box, OpenAdmin, another Linux box, easy. But a cool box. I'm running an nmap scan as always. I'm seeing that there's an HTTP port. I am going to the page and I'm seeing the Ubuntu default page. When I run the roster, I'm seeing that there's an endpoint called ONA. And this is basically an open network, OpenNet admin. Cool. When I check online for OpenNet admin scripts, exploits, as you can see, there's a remote code execution. I'm not sure about the versioning, but I'm just thinking that why not trying this, right? I am just writing the exact same thing that I saw from ExploitDB by replacing my own IP address. As you can see, it's here, 10.10.14.10. I am just replacing it and with the port number that I want to listen on. And as you can see, I'm listening on it. And we got the shell. This is probably the most quick shell that we ever got. Super easy box, as you can see. But it says data. I'm checking for home directory to see the usernames, Jimmy and Joanna. I want to escalate my privileges to one of them. And it will not be enough because we need to then jump into the other one. We will see. Okay, I'm checking for .html files. ONA, as you can see, I'm seeing some files here for the config files to make sure that maybe I can extract some passwords or something. I'm reading the file to make sure that I can extract some data. Do I see anything here? Not yet. The config files generally tell us a lot of stuff. We're going back, we're checking again. Oh, there was another folder called local. Maybe there's another config file here. Oh yeah, I'm checking for config directory again. And there are the database settings and PHP file. I am thinking that there are database credentials and there we go. I'm really happy now. I'm thinking that maybe I can use one of the users that I already found in the home directory. What was that? Jimmy and Joanna. Let's try to use the password for these usernames. Maybe one of them will work. And I'm just using it with su command first, but it gives us an error. So I will just write SSH to this user with the password that I found in the database credentials. And lucky to us, Jimmy is just having this password that we found. Really cool. So we escalated our privileges from data to Jimmy, but it's not enough for us. We want to go to Joanna before we go to root. So I saw that there is ONA pages running, and there's also another folder called internal, and that's not a default folder. When I check for it, there's an internal web page running, as you can see in the index.php file. Cool. But as you can see, there is a password hash included in here. I will correct it later. I'm also checking for anything under etc Apache 2 for sites available to make sure that I can grab any more information about this website running internally, internal.conf configuration file. So now we know where to check, right, guys? And we know the port number of the internal application. I'm going to crack this hash. It really disturbs me that it's staying there without me cracking it. Let's go to crack station. We can also include it like with Joan and stuff, but let's check online, because I mean, this is CTF, probably they are using a hash that's already been cracked by another user, so it will be easier in this way. And the password is revealed really quick. I'm trying to SSH, I'm trying to do port forwarding. First, I'm trying to do it internally in the box that I already have a shell with Jimmy user. It created problems for me, and I'm saying, come on, I'm not a noob. I know other methods, and I'm just using it in my own box with a different comment to do port forwarding. So when I try to do that, I will reach out to this internal web application from my own browser when I go to localhost for port 4545. I will be using the password that I found and cracked here with the user Jimmy. When I log in, it gives me a private key. Really cool. Now we will see how to use this private key, guys. I will be basically using Joan. Finally, as you can see, if you go to the Joan directory, there are many files, and we will be using SSH to joan.py so that we can be Joan-friendly, crackable file. I just turned this file into Joan-friendly file, and I will be cracking this to get a secret from this private key file. If I can find the comment. So as you can see, I got the files that are including Ninja because it was being mentioned in the web page from rockq.txt file, and I create another file called Rocky Ninja. Okay. Let's crack the file now with word list specified as Rocky Ninja to get the file. Cool. And we need to change the private key with 400, and we will be logging with this private key and the key that we cracked using the private key. Cool. Then we check for sudo -l for any file that we can run. As you can see here, it says nano can be run with the following command X, command R. And I will be writing the following code. It's very easy to get a root shell. When I ask we got the root shell already. And we will get the root.txt file in this way. As you can see, guys, super easy boxes. But if you're telling me right now that if you know the answer, it's easy, I know. But the methods are not crazy hard because you will see later when we solve insane boxes from HacktheBox, it's going to be a different game. Right now, we are solving easy and medium boxes. If you're not familiar with CTF concept, this can also seem very complex. It's okay. There's no shame on this. We will learn how to solve all these kind of boxes. And the good thing about HacktheBox machines or any other platform that you're using is that whenever you use another box, whenever you solve another box, you're basically learning another technique. Did we know about how to get out of nano, for instance? We didn't know, and we learned how to do it. And did we know about some of these web applications? We didn't, but now we learn how to exploit them. And next time when you see the same application, it happens to me so many times now because I'm solving CTF for years. Whenever I see another application, I know that I exploited this application many times in different CTFs. So it's really important that you're familiar with the CTF concept. It doesn't mean that you know how to run nmap scan only. Of course, it's important. I'm not saying it's not important, but it's really important that you saw you've seen many different scenarios, many different applications, and you exploited them manually and automatically. You need more experience. So if you're thinking that these boxes are not easy, don't give up. We are never giving up because it's not going to happen like I solved 3 HacktheBox machines and I become a pro. This will never happen. I'm sorry. I need to break it to you, and you need to solve many more boxes. And that's why I'm creating these videos so that I can share my knowledge with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And for the sake of this video, I wore a HacktheBox t-shirt. A unisex t-shirt, one of my favorites. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more content because I will be creating another video for the next week with 3 or 4 more HacktheBox missions in one video, hopefully less than 30 minutes. Just another note before I close the video. If you think that I'm speaking super fast or something, or the video is going super fast, it doesn't mean that I'm solving the boxes also for the first time in 30 minutes that quick. I solve it before the video, and I go through the video with you guys. It doesn't mean that you have to solve it in 30 minutes. It doesn't mean that you need to understand everything that quickly. You can stop the video, you can pause the video and watch every single step, try to replicate the attacks by yourself. And don't worry, guys, we will go there all together. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please drop a comment and stay tuned so that we can see each other next week. Cheers.
One dedicated to all those who complete the mark sex certification, the ones who not fault and not waver. No one to try hard and get braver. You must not feel, you must not nigga.